Hello all, welcome back to YouTube channel Zade Academy. Today let's start by talking about two of the most common yet powerful lookup functions in the Excel, which is VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP. These are generally used when you need to combine two different data arrays with a common field. So for instance, if I have a car data in one array where I have a car VIN number, CT, phone number, and I have another array of the data with the same car VIN number and the names of the user information extra, and I have want to merge those data sources so that I have car VIN number, city, phone number, and names all in one spreadsheet. The lookup is great tool to use to do that. So there are few components of the lookup function. It starts with the lookup value. So this is the value that you are trying to match. It's typically the common field that exists between the two arrays, like from the source and the lookup array. The second component is the table array. So this is where you are trying to find that lookup value, and the third piece is the column index number. So in your table array, uh, where you are looking for your lookup value, which column of the data would you like to return? That's typically where your variable is that you're trying to pull into your first source array. And then last but not least, you have a range lookup, which is basically just says you are trying to match the exact lookup value or something similar. You are trying to look up the exact value which you will use for text strings and words. You will put a zero or the word false there. Otherwise you could put a one for the instance if you are looking at number with a bunch of decimal places, and you don't need to, don't need it to match exactly. You could use that as well. But just 99% of the time, yeah, you're going to use a zero or exact as your range lookup. So in this example here again, I have this car level data that I just described, and in one area I have got a car VIN number, city, phone number, and in my second array I have got car VIN number and the names. So as you can see, car VIN number is the common field between them. And what I want to do is find the names in my lookup array and pull it into my source array, which is in column E. So in column E, I have created a names column. I'm going to say we look up whatever is in B2 within the table array from A2 to B201, which you see here. The table is in the screenshot, you see the smaller one, but the table is from A2 to B201. So it's going to go row by row until it finds the lookup value, which in this case finding it in a row 140. And then it wants to return the data from the second column, which is column B, over since that the column index number. So it finds that car VIN number, moves to the second column over, finds the name of brand, and returns it in the cell E2. And then as you apply this lookup table down, it's going to be looking up all within this lookup array. So next one is HLOOKUP. So that's all about the VLOOKUP earlier. Now HLOOKUPs works almost exactly the same way. It's really the same syntax here. The only difference is that you need to use an HLOOKUP if your lookup array is transposed, which is kind of an odd way of showing the data, but sometimes over and across data sets that are built in this way. So it works the same way. The only difference is that it will move column by column until it finds this lookup value, and then move down to specified row index number, as opposed to this, to moving row by row and moving to a column index number for the VLOOKUP. So again, same exact concept, you just use it when your data is in transposed mode. Yeah. So we have two very important rules here that you need to remember when you use the VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP functions. The first is that your lookup value has to be in the first column if you are using a VLOOKUP, or the first row if you are using the HLOOKUP of your table array. So you can't have a table array that goes from column A to D where your lookup values are a matching column is in column B. Excel just doesn't like that. So the second rule is that Excel will always return the value from the topmost row. If you are doing a VLOOKUP, or the leftmost column, if you are doing an H lookup of a table array, if multiple instances of your lookup values are present. So this is very important distincts to make here, which is that if I go back to my lookup example for the instance, uh, and I'm looking up for the car VIN in the red in this lookup array. Let's say two lines in a row, which is in the here, the car VIN number had same VIN number, the different names. Then the VLOOKUP is going to stop the first time it finds the values looking for, and return the price in the second column, or the name in the second column. Over the first instance, it's not even going to know that there were multiple instances because it stopped at the first time. So the way to get around that is to identify a key that's a common to both data sets and unique for every row. That's the key piece here. So um, it typically takes the form of a constant, concatenation of multiple fields. I will talk more about that, those specific in the text function section, or if you want to see that video, the URL is in the I button. Just click on the I button and go to that video and just watch it out there. But basically concatenation, which can be accomplished just using the and sign in Excel, just mashes together to text filled into one. So that's about VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Now we are going to talk about actually putting these values or into the practice by merging our data. So let's jump into an Excel. It's really hard to learn these formulas until you practice them on the real data. So let's go ahead and get some hands-on practice using the VLOOKUP function. Here is the car selling data you can see on the screen, where we have a car VIN number, then the city, their phone numbers, and similar in another workbook, we have the reference data with the car VIN number and the names. Here the goal of this exercise is going to be like to pulling these names data uh, into the column E in my car selling data tab. So this is going to be like my master data tab that joins those two sets of metrics together in one place. So let's get started. So equals to VLOOKUP, open up the parentheses. My lookup value is going to be whatever my key is here. So we have a b2, which is because we need to car VIN number, which is common in both the places. So the lookup, the table, the next one is this lookup value is there, then comma, then table array. So table array is from the reference tab. So here from A1 all the way, like from here, from A1 all the way over and down, all the way down to the P201. Yeah. And before I'm doing anything else, I'm going to press F4 to just fix that entire array, so that I can apply this lookup formula down once I have written it, and not have this data array shipped along with it. So then press comma, call him my index number. It's basically the column where my position field lives. because that's the matrix that I'm trying to populate on right now, which is in column 2. So the index number is 2, and the last one is which is going to be the range lookup. We can see that if you press comma, you can see it's asking for range lookup for true or false, which is 0 for exact match, and uh, approximate for the true. So we'll press 0 and close the parenthesis, hit the enter. So we'll see that you will get that name. And so now if I apply this all the way down, as you can see, it's looking up names here. If I dive into the formula and check, the table array is going to be fixed. The lookup array is not shifting, it is fixed. So there you go, you will get all the names from another workbook by using the lookup. So let's check for the h lookup as well. So we have a edge lookup reference. Actually we have taken only 4 tabs just to show you, because it's very long if we take all the values from the car selling data. So let's go ahead for the h lookup. So equals h lookup. It's the same way, like a lookup value is going to be the same thing, because in the h lookup reference tab and in the car sale data we have car behind is the one which is common. So b2 comma, then table array, it's the same thing. We have to select from here, freeze it by pressing f4, comma, it's asking for row index number. Now the row index number here, this car behind is common, so we have these names to be populated in column e. So that's why we have the second row from where we have to populate these names. So comma 2, comma, then the true and false, we want the exact match, so pressing 0, close the parenthesis, hit the enter button. Actually we don't have that much values here. We have like 4 values only, so just for the reference I'm just showing you. I'm just pulling it out up to the 4 only. And if you say okay, if I pull it down to the fifth number, you can see that it's any, because there is no value, so that's why it's showing only 4 values. So there you go. Here is the h lookup and the vlookup functions. So thank you all for watching this video. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe the channel to SZ Academy. For other free courses, please mention it in the comment box so that we can create those courses free for you.